Here we are in Taipei for my first ever Computex, but that's not till tomorrow. Right now, I'm actually about to walk into the Nvidia GTC conference and their keynote. Now, of course, there's gonna be AI, but I think what a lot of people are interested in seeing is the not so subtly hinted at Windows Nvidia laptop, the N1 and N1X processors that have all been up leaked right now. So I want to head in there and see what it's all about. I'm kind of excited. Let's check it out. Okay, yep, we just got out. Everything that we had thought was pretty much true and shown in the keynote. Some of it very, very cool. There's no doubt the technology behind it is awesome. Some of it feels a little dystopian. A large group of people watching robots do everything, but I'll unpack a lot of this a bit later. Okay, I made it away from the keynote. I found myself in this nice little temple and I ran into this guy, so I think I'm gonna explain to Mr. Techno Tim all the things that happened at the keynote and what my opinions are on them. There's 5 main things, I wrote them down here. One was their agent toolkit for enterprise, which was pretty cool. It's essentially like their new QNAP libraries, just AI libraries to make it easier for software engineers to
build agents?
Build agents was like the main thing they were talking about. But not only for software engineers to like build agents, but to build AI tools, but for agents to use those tools. So that was the whole thing, is like making it easier for agents to run. The next thing was their new Vera CPUs. Before, you know, everyone knows inference is done on the GPU. Nvidia makes GPUs. But they were talking about how, like, with this new age of agents, the CPU is now the bottleneck.
That's right.
So, yeah, they've developed the Vera CPU specifically for agentic AI. So these not only are going to increase that, but they go into their entire, like, new platform, their Vera Rubin platform. Forget the terms you use. Use a bunch of, like, fancy terms. But instead of it just being a dedicated, like, CPU, GPU server, it's a whole like ecosystem of hardware that works together. I guess that's number 3, the Vera Rubin, but also they call it DSX, which is a way like large companies can build out AI data centers. So that was a big one. And then Nvidia Windows machines, RTX Spark is what they're calling it. And they're launching in the fall with laptops. It's essentially like what they have in the DGX Spark, but in a laptop. No prices, so I'm sure that's gonna be expensive. So we'll see how, like, I'm actually super excited about that. If they can get that running optimally, then that can be pretty slick. But I think Windows is gonna be the one holding it back, but we'll see. And then the last thing was physical AI. I kind of zoned out at that point because I was AI'd out, and also I don't care about robots. Who knows, man, I'm just a dude with a camera. Next time you'll see me, I'll probably be at actual Computex tomorrow. Good morning. Let's get it. Hey, it's tomorrow at Computex. Just got my badge. It was actually pretty quick. We used the press line, which is like way shorter. Perks of being a cringe YouTuber, but I have 3 specific booths I want to check out today, but I have an hour till my first appointment, so we're just gonna kind of walk around and see what we can find, right, Tim?
That's right.
All right. All right, just hit up a few booths before I head over to see what Kioxia's got going on, but hit up everyone's favorite brand right now, Synology. They actually have some really cool hardware. It looks pretty sick. I know they're not super popular now. I'm kind of just wandering around, getting lost here. Checked out InWin. They have a pretty freaking sick booth. They have some really cool stuff over there that I'm excited to show you. I'm actually doing a short for them, so it's probably posted at this point. Link, or I'm showing it right here. Just walk through G.Skill. There's probably like $1 zillion worth of RAM sitting on the counter. And now I've wandered into I don't know where I'm at, somewhere else. All right, just left the Kioxia booth. As you can expect, lots of really fast storage, because that's kind of what they do. They did have one of their collaborations with ASRock rack, a crazy dual Nvidia GB10 or GB300 system. Speaking of ASRock rack, I'm actually gonna head up to where I think they are and see what they have going on. I'm sure they have some crazy servers, which seems to be the theme. So far, I've seen a lot of just enterprise servers, which usually translates to AI servers. Who would have thought, right? Boy, I'll tell you what, they are loaded up here. Behind me is the new Vera Rubin system. Absolutely bonkers. Like any possible Nvidia AI server that you could think of, they have here in all different form factors. I'm not going to say what some of these servers are physically doing to me, because I'll get banned off YouTube. Not to be outdone, they have an AMD Instinct AI GPU, or GPU, AI server. And then yeah, some more consumer stuff over here, but a lot of it is AI. Man, I'll tell you what, the vibes are pretty much spot on with CES, except I can't understand what a lot of people are saying because I'm dumb American and speak one language. What did I just do? I went to check out the ASUS store booth. Pretty much the same stuff they've been putting out. I didn't really see anything that crazy. I think they had some AI integration in their software. I really like ASUS store. I just wish they'd innovate a bit more, because it seems like it's the same kind of desktop level NAS and flash storage system that they've had for a while now. Saw the Lian Li, they had cases. Seasonic had power supplies. There was a brand called Jungle Leopard, so that was sick. And now, I don't know. I need one of the, oh look, I'm back at ASRock Rack. It's funny how that just happens totally by accident. I was about to walk out in a booth called Sonic, caught my eye. It looked like Icy Dock, but a little bit more refined. They had some cool stuff. I asked them if they sold in the US. They said they did, but not direct to customer, which is unfortunate, which means I'm never getting any. So one of the most eye-catching booths I've seen so far has been the Alzai. They have some insane chassis and AIOs and CPU coolers. Apparently you can buy them on Amazon in the US. So I gave them my card, told them to reach out. I would love to build a home server in some of those, which would be bonkers. And then right next to them, the juxtaposition is actually pretty funny, is Noctua. So you go from crazy like concept style to your brown and tan, all reliable. And yep, looking brown and tan. Dude, the Gigabyte booth is absolutely slammed. But they do have an impressive setup. If you thought you were going to go in there and see some consumer level motherboards, you're wrong. It's all enterprise AI stuff, but it's impressive. They're showing off like the DSX, build your own AI server farm slash data center. It's cool, the tech's cool. It's not for consumers, obviously, at all. It's very polarizing. I imagine a lot of the things that come out of Computex are going to be polarizing, considering how much of it is AI. Like I said before, the turbo nerd tech guy in me, inside of me, really likes this stuff. Every time I talk to the camera, I get lost. Okay, probably the most unexpected, I guess, surprise. I walked into the QNAP booth fully expecting to just see a couple of 4, 8-bay, maybe some enterprise level off-the-shelf NAS devices, and they did have those, but they had some crazy things that I did not expect to see. They had one NAS that I'm actually getting soon. I think it's been delayed. I can't remember the model. I'm gonna put it right here. But it looks like a consumer level, like 4 or 6-bay NAS, but it has E1.S slots that can be adapted to NVMe. E1.S in a consumer NAS. That's crazy. They also had a NAS that was powered by an Nvidia Thor SoC. What? Like, it's not released yet, but it's coming, I guess. That's crazy. They also had, obviously, an AI NAS that has PCIe expansion, and they have their own QNAP AI agent. But, man, they had so much cool stuff, and obviously they're networking. Some cool switches, nothing too crazy. Some USB 4/5 Thunderbolt expansion cards. A lot of really cool stuff from QNAP. So I haven't done a video with them in a couple of years. I have one coming soon. And I'm hoping I can get my hands on some of that new gear, because it looks pretty insane. Just swung back around to the Gigabyte booth again. Took a look at their GB300 and GB10 system. tried to kind of sweet talk them into giving me one more so I can build out that 4-node GB10 cluster. But he told me they actually have a 4-node GB10 cluster set up on the 4th floor. So I'm going to check that out right now because I want to see which switch they're using. Because I have a MikroTik one at home, I believe, and I heard that it can work with that. So I'm curious to see what they're using for theirs. All right, bad news. He wouldn't tell me what switch it was connected to. It was hidden underneath the display unit thing. So who knows if they were actually even connected. Also, I tried to walk through the ASUS ROG booth, but dear God, there was, not even exaggerating, at least 50 trillion people in there. I did have some cool stuff, but I had to get out of there. Also, I see Tim. I'm gonna go interrupt him. Yeah, apparently ASUS also had, not to be outdone by Gigabyte, they also had a 4-node GB10 cluster. Again, not showing what switch it's running on. How convenient. You guys aren't gonna like it, but they had a cool like AI enterprise, locally hosted AI. So like a GB300 paired with some software that they packaged with it that seemed pretty cool. It'll make sense when you eventually see my interesting, I think, video about corporate AI from the perspective of someone who works in corporate IT and who's dealing with the transition to AI. Oh, Acer, neat. Okay, they just had like a bunch of monitors and laptops, and they did have a GB10 system, but someone was looking at it and talking, so I'll let you guys use your imagination, but I do see the Minus Forum booth, so I am slowly making my way over there. Okay, yeah, Minus Forum had roughly the same stuff that we saw at CES from them, so their new NAS box and the new MS03, which was an Intel-based system. It looked all right. I mean, maybe I'm just kind of burnt out, tech burnt out at this point. It's only 1:30. I just wandered into the MSI area and saw their GB10. I feel like at this point I'm just collecting GB10s. And then obviously, you know, the monitors, the AIOs, the laptops. And then of course, a software they have for OpenClaw. So I don't know what the game plan is now. Maybe take a break. My feet hurt. I'm being a bitch. Whew. Okay, like I said, I was taking a break. It's crazy, it's only 2 o'clock and I'm freaking exhausted. Mentally and physically. I don't know if I've been yapping too much or talking too little. I won't know until I get back and start editing the video. If you take a shot every time I say cool or crazy, you're gonna die. But I guess I'll use this as an opportunity to do a bit of an overview. No secret, a lot of AI stuff. So it's gonna be very polarizing, I know that. Some people like AI, some people don't, some people are indifferent. I think a lot of people can agree though, the technology behind a lot of it is really interesting, but it's just so much right now that when you hear about something so often, you kind of just lose interest. So I've been trying to focus more on the hardware aspect of it, and that's been cool. There's been a lot of cool enterprise systems to look at. Consumer stuff, there is a bit from the big players, MSI, ASUS, but you know, I go through waves just like everybody else where certain things interest me and some don't. Maybe in a couple of months, I'll lose interest in enterprise stuff and AI stuff and be back on the mini PC and consumer level train. But I'm trying to see Computex through my, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Dude, I'm tired, man. Oh God, I'm yapping so much. Hopefully this video doesn't suck. It probably does. All right, as you can see, the sun is pretty much almost down. That was a lot. Nvidia is leaning into these RTX Spark systems, which was what they were showing at the demo. And they're pretty cool. Obviously, they're gonna look cool in demos, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, obviously. But bringing the Grace Blackwell design to consumers with Windows is going to open up a lot more, or allow it to be used by a lot more people. So in the end, that's a good thing for the platform, which I really like. But seeing some of the things that are natively supposed to work at launch is pretty exciting with how good emulation is supposed to be not having to rely on native ARM apps will be great if it all works. Like I said, in the demo, of course, everything's gonna work. Everything's gonna look great. Video editing looked great. Gaming looked great. All the OEM partners have their cool RTX Spark systems, mini PCs, laptops. A lot to be excited about, but we'll know once we have them in our hands and can actually use them. What do you think? All right, day 2, let's lock in. I legitimately have zero plan today because I kind of saw everything yesterday. I went to both of the buildings, all the floors, so today I think we're just running on vibes. I do know that I missed the Western Digital booth, so I'm actually headed there now. As I'm sure you could have guessed, Western Digital was showing off hard drives. Apparently there's a 40 terabyte UltraStar now, which is absolutely freaking bonkers. Shout out to Mark for explaining to my dumbass the difference between their reds, purples, golds, and UltraStars. It was actually really interesting, maybe a potential video. Next to it, they had the best in show, which had, I guess, the best products in show. With something, one of the boxes signed by Jensen, that seems to be a theme. He comes by, signs things, everybody cheers. Then there's a Wi-Fi 8 router. Don't know what we're gonna do with that. So many things don't even support Wi-Fi 7, but it's still cool. I like cool things, even if it's not the most optimal. I'm lost again. Okay, apparently the Nvidia GTC demo was not where Computex was, so I had to get an Uber and come over here. But I just got out of that. Pretty interesting stuff. Not really from the perspective of my YouTube channel, but more about my 9-to-5 job in terms of AI development. But yeah, I think honestly, I'm kind of done with Computex. I think I've seen everything I needed to. I don't know how this video came out. It could be fun. It could be the worst video I've ever made. Hopefully not. But if you didn't like it, I'm sorry. A link to get your refund is down in the description. If you did like it, great, drop a like and subscribe if you want to see me go to Computex again next year and make some more nerdy, cringe YouTube comment. But that's it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much to my YouTube subscribers and Patreons. You guys are my AI self-hosted server in Taipei. You're the best. And if you're still watching, you're AMD. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.